teacher, a former youth pastor, a family friend. We all have one. Now, I could spend 45 minutes naming every single person in my life I've looked up to as a role model, from swim coaches, baseball coaches, football, everything. Just some great examples have been in my life on how to be a man, a father, and a friend. But today I'll spend my time on 3 role models. Now, if I could get you all to close your eyes, just imagine the biggest, strongest man, and then try to double that. That is my first role model. His name is Kyle DeHorn. He was my freshman football coach and chemistry teacher. This man was the tallest 6 feet 2 inches you had ever seen, the leanest 250 pounds. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but his shoulders were probably 4 feet across. A 34-year-old man that could dunk over anyone. I kind of had a man crush on him, I'll be honest. And my friend and I had the great opportunity of lifting with our teacher. Now, he wasn't just some nerdy teacher, and he wasn't just a meathead that somehow worked his way into a teaching job so he could be a coach. No, this was a great man. He truly cared about everything. He was a comic enthusiast. We'd always go back and forth of who's the best superhero or the best villain. We'd talk about video games. He would invite us over to his house to play. We never went because his wife never went out of town. But he always talked about how he wanted to play Halo. And so he became a true friend. An important thing about him, he was a very crucial leader in his church. And so this just gave us this great person to talk to while we're lifting. We'd be there 5 days a week for 2 years, just lifting and getting some great coaching on that. But then also in life, if we had a question about anything, we felt comfortable talking to Mr. DeHorn. He was just this great man, and he had just amazing ability to listen to us and really put up with all of our crap, because we're just immature sophomore, junior, and seniors. So he was just a great man. Now, the second man was kind of a skinny bro type. He was just really a beard. He's kind of skinny, but he was a great worker. This man was my slave driver of a boss at a landscaping business. Now, we didn't really hang out or have this great relationship like that. It was after Knob year, and I felt like this job was just an extension of Knob year. It was just do this, do that. Why aren't you sprinting? Literally, they would make me sprint while carrying bags of sand or mulch and whatnot. This was crazy. But one day on a work site, out of the blue, he asked me about my girlfriend and I and how we were doing. And I just told him, okay, we've been dating for a little over a year, whatnot. And then he went into this huge, long story about how his marriage had begun and how it was so troubled. He said he didn't talk to his wife for 2 weeks at a time when they first got married. He said divorce wasn't an option, and because of that, they just stuck it out. He said sometimes it was the hardest thing he had to do was just wake up and be married. And he said a reason that divorce is so high these days is because people expect to find someone who might just be keep them the happiest person every day with no effort. So when someone wakes up and they realize, I don't think I love this person anymore, they're just ready to quit. He told me, you have to try every single day. It's something that you put effort into. It's not just going to happen. It doesn't just fall in your lap. This is something that you need to work on. And I never really put that much thought into it. Just being fresh out of my freshman year in college, this was probably the best relationship advice I've ever received. We spent almost an hour talking about it, and to this day, I still always think about that when dealing with not just friendships, but also with my girlfriend. Now, the third man, for most people, would be one of the first role models they could possibly think of. Yet for me, this just happened just a couple years ago. My father. Him and I have never really been that close. Yet, a couple years ago, we started to work on renovating a house. And before that, we had spent time together. It's not that he had abandoned me or anything. It's just that I never felt this connection to him. We'd never really grown alike. But while renovating this house, I really got to see how I'm very similar to him, how I might have been ashamed of that a couple years ago, and how he's just such a hardworking man, and how I admire that, and how I can apply that to my future life and being a father and a provider someday. Now, we all need to think, what actions do we do? Who do we interact with? And how do we kind of reflect ourselves upon others? Because you must always remember, you don't choose to be a role model, people choose you. You can be the best person you can possibly be, and whether someone actually chooses to look up to you or not, that is their choice. So you need to be the best, so others can learn from you, and you can leave your mark. Thank you.